What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. Right now, I feel like $100,000.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
And I want to also give a big shout out to Ian Garlic, host of the Garlic Marketing Show, for telling me about Christopher's book. It's amazing. You got to check it out. It's called Play Bigger, and I'll introduce it in a second. But so if you didn't know already, you are listening to InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders like the founders of P90X, Baby Einstein, Atari, and many more, and how they overcome big challenges in life and business. And our sponsor is Rise25.com, which helps service professionals, doctors, lawyers, accountants, dentists, anyone working with one-on-one clients stop just trading time for dollars and shift from a one-to-one client work to one-to-many. So you can go there. There's a dream product ladder template that you can use to realize it's basically planning your business on one sheet of paper that shows gaps of untapped revenue. Disney uses it, Apple, sporting industry, they all use versions of the product ladder. So I'm excited to introduce today's guest, Christopher Lochhead, who started his first company at 18. He retired 30 years later. Well, retired is a term. He's still working, but doing what he loves to do when he wants and who he wants to do it with. He's a 3-time public company CMO, best-selling author, host of Legends and Losers, which he's already mentioned. You should check it out. He's co-founder of Play Bigger Advisors. He served as chief marketing officer of Mercury Interactive, a $1 billion software company that was acquired by Hewlett-Packard in 2006 for $4.5 billion. And like I mentioned, he's the co-author with Ramadan, Dave Peterson, and Kevin Maney of Play Bigger, How Pirates, Dreamers, and Innovators Create and Dominate Markets. Thank you so much, Chris, for doing this.
Thanks, Jeremy. The introduction is going to make my mom real happy. Thank you.
We'll send it to her.
It's very, very kind of you.
Talk about, you're big in philanthropy and One Life. I want you to talk a little bit about that and your involvement with that.
Thank you. So OneLifeFullyLived.org is a organization founded by my dear friend Tim Rode, and he's a former realtor and now real estate investor who has a huge commitment to giving back. And right now my favorite quote about all this is the Kevin Spacey quote, Jeremy, where he says, "If you're lucky enough to make it to the top of the building, you should send the elevator back down." And I think those of us who are entrepreneurial, and Tim, like me, is a small E entrepreneur, started with nothing, had no reason for anybody to believe in him, and started painting street numbers for people on the sidewalk, and built himself up from there. So what One Life is about is we're a nonprofit committed to helping people dream, plan, and live their best life. And to give people the tools, technologies, and relationships to do that for as close to free as possible. So think about motivational and inspirational and personal development shit. Think about financial planning, both on the personal side and on the business side. And then think about either being an entrepreneur or being entrepreneurial in one way or another in your life. So if you sort of think about those dimensions, right, from as simple as how do you balance a checkbook for kids, to how do you understand once you get past that on the financial side, how do you play good offense and defense? A lot of people just play offense. They don't get the defense part. So we want to do some base financial planning, because the average American is 3 paychecks away from personal bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And the average American is two personal crises, or crisi, if that's the plural, away from personal bankruptcy. You have a big healthcare problem and you lose your job and you're fucked.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah. And so none of that is okay with us. And so we want to help people understand the things that they can do in their financial life to make a difference in that regard. And then on the personal side, like we talked about earlier, there are a lot of people who don't even realize you can design your own life. Life isn't what happens to you. Life is what you happen to. And the minute you understand you can design your own life, then the next logical question is, okay, well, how? And so
Right.
we have a curriculum at One Life that shows you how. And then we want to spawn more entrepreneurs, and we want to stoke more existing entrepreneurs. And some of those entrepreneurs are big E entrepreneurs, but a lot of them are small E entrepreneurs. We're starting to do a lot of One Life work in the inner cities, and so we're trying to go to the places where people need it the most. And the message is really simple: you can design, plan, and live out your best life, and we're here to help you, and we're here to try to do that for as close to free as possible with a collection of big-hearted, committed people who want to do that with you.
Yeah. Chris, I want to be the first one to thank you. This has been amazing. I want to I have one last question, but I want to point people towards where they should find out more. And you have a couple probably places. Where should we point people towards online?
The best place, and it's the place where you can get to all the other places if you care to go to any of the other ones, is just legendsandlosers.com.
Okay, cool.
And you can, learn more about Play Bigger there. You can check out, all of the episodes of Legends and Losers. And if you want to find me on Twitter and LinkedIn and all those other places, all of that hangs off of legendsandlosers.com.
Awesome. Everyone check out legendsandlosers.com. Last question, Chris, and I'm sorry for people just listening to audio, but I like to know what inspires you, and I'd love to have you just talk a little about everything, the cool, inspiring stuff you have behind you in your office for a second.
Yeah, well, thanks for noticing. When we started Legends and Losers, Jeremy, we wanted to have a video podcast because, why not? And of course, our show, like I'm guessing your show, is mostly people listening on a device where they don't see us. But video is easy and free, and so just boom, there it is. And so we wanted to have an interesting background. But more importantly, to your point, where we live and where we work matters. Our environment matters. I just saw today, I was stoked to find out, just this morning, National Geographic, I guess yesterday maybe, came out with a list of the happiest cities in the United States. And Santa Cruz is number 2.
Wow.
And since I've lived here, it's really struck me like, the environment you're in, I know this sounds stupid, like a duh, but it really, really matters. And so, long story longer, wanted to create an environment to do Legends and Losers. Number one rule at Legends and Losers is fun.
Right.
And so we wanted to create a studio that was a good functional studio and that had lots of inspiring shit around, so that like every time you walked into the studio, you're reminded of things that are legendary.
Right, yeah. So what's around you?
Oh, so you want me to walk you through?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I could take the camera off and give you a full tour if you want. So we have a couple of guitars. We have a Hagstrom guitar, which is what my uncle played. It's also what Elvis and the Beatles played. And Pat Smear from the Foo Fighters is probably the most famous Hagstrom player today. And that's the red one. Next to that, the white one is a white custom Les Paul. And I was a kid that didn't grow up with very much money at all, and it was never even in my realm of possibility to think that one could own such a piece of musical equipment. But there she is, and I think it's the greatest guitar in the world. You want to hear rock and roll, you put a custom Les Paul through a Marshall tube amp, and that's what Slash sounds like, and that's what Jimmy Page sounds like, and that's what the Ramones sound like, and that's what fucking rock and roll is. And then there's a sign over there. I don't know. Let me see if I
Can't see it now.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, you
There's
can see
it. There that my wife got me that I think is really funny. That says, "I'm not saying I'm Batman. I'm just saying no one has ever seen me and Batman in a room together." And then this is a picture of Steve McQueen in his Shelby Cobra Mustang pulling out backwards. And A, Steve McQueen might be the coolest guy of all time. B, Shelby Cobras are the coolest car of all time. And C, I like things that are different, Jeremy.
Right.
And so most people, if you're going to put up a picture of like a muscle car or somebody doing something cool in a car, they're going forward. What I love about this is from the streets of San Francisco. Oh, no, excuse me. This is from Bullitt. And he's pulling out backwards at 80 miles an hour. You can see the tire smoke. And so that's cool. Above him, we have one of my huge heroes, Leonard Cohen, God rest his soul, and his amazing album, Songs of Love and Hate. Next to Leonard, we got Batman and Robin from the original 60s TV series. And they're going up.
Is that Adam? Is Adam West played Batman in there?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Adam West and Burt Ward. Let me get this one for you. And you can see they're climbing up a wall. If you remember the series, you would have these photos of them with the bat rope going up the side of the wall. Nice. And this photo shows you how they shot those. That's and they awesome. Have the string attached to the cape to make it look like they're actually climbing up a wall, and it's very corny and very quiche, or very kitschy rather. And then this is Tom Waits, the legendary Tom Waits, probably the greatest songwriter of all time. Above him is the Ramones. Next to him is Muhammad Ali. And I love this picture because most people, if they have a picture of Muhammad Ali or any kind of a fighter, the fighter is doing the hitting shot,
someone, right,
or doing the winning. What I love about this shot is he's slipping the punch.
Right.
Because the first thing you learn when you start to train boxing or martial arts is there's two parts of this. There's hitting and not getting hit. And the not getting hit part's actually more important than the hitting part.
Right.
And then there's
Floyd Mayweather, hence, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's boring to watch if you're not a fighter, Floyd. And as a fan, I don't love watching Floyd fight.
Were you rooting? Who did you think was going to win that one? Conor McGregor?
I thought McGregor was going to... Oh, excuse me. I thought Floyd was going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been shocked had McGregor won. But I would be less than candid, Jeremy, if I didn't tell you I was really rooting for McGregor.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen. And I thought McGregor did incredibly well. I mean, you know, when you go 11 rounds against the greatest boxer of this era, and you hit him more times than Manny Pacquiao did, you had a good night,
yep.
You know?
For sure.
So I think McGregor was awesome. That's London Calling, The Clash. Obviously, a vintage flag of California. And to me, the flag of California is so powerful and sad because, of course, the California brown bear is virtually extinct. And so it's an incredible thing that our icon is this animal that we fucking killed. It's very, and today there are some, we could repopulate the Sierras with them, but it would make the summers on Lake Tahoe very exciting for people. But I digress. And then this amazing surfboard right here.
I can't see that on the camera. I'm going to make you move the camera again. Yeah, there we go.
So this is a custom surfboard that my dear friend, the legendary Tasmanian devil of Australian marketing, Vaughn O'Connor, he runs what a lot of people consider to be sort of the preeminent kind of high-end marketing boutique in Australia. And he's a wicked surfer. And so he got me, he knows the Ramones are my favorite band. And so he got me this custom board, which is gorgeous, with this amazing, this is actually a custom paint job. And so wow. That's Joey Ramone on the bottom of the board. Yeah.
Love it.
That's a small tour. And there's other shit around here. My friend Scott Lowry, the boards are on the other side of the studio, hard to show you, but he also got me a custom board from Robert August, and he had the Legends and Losers logo put on the board, and cool. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we have two official surfboards in the Legends and Losers studio, and we got Godzilla and Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, and then my favorite license plate, which says, "If it's tourist season, why can't we shoot them?"
I won't be going to California near you, though.
Well, it's just, and I don't mean it that horribly, but it's funny living in a beach town, right? Because the town swells up weekend and it swells up in the summer, and
for sure,
it gets irritating quickly. It's like, okay, well, thanks for coming and spending your money in Santa Cruz. Now, would you please get the fuck out?
Chris, thank you. This has been fantastic. Everyone should check out legendsandlosers.com. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Jeremy. The pleasure's been all mine.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.